And innocent hostages shot execution style by Hamas terrorists. It's igniting fury across Israel and in America. And there are fresh calls to get a hostage deal done now. But is that even possible? Let's go to Trey Yingst. He is there in Israel. He has an update for us, and he's going to stick around for a couple questions. Hi, Trey.
Yeah, hey, Dana, good morning. We do expect more protests here in Israel in the coming days as the country braces for what comes next in this conflict. Remember, the war started 333 days ago on the morning of October 7th when Hamas launched this broad attack into southern Israel, dragging more than 240 people hostage back into the Strip. There are still more than 100 people there. Some of them are dead, some alive. And the demonstrators who have been in the streets of Tel Aviv and other major population centers say they will continue to protest until the government reaches an agreement with Hamas. But remember, they're not negotiating directly. These conversations have taken place in Cairo, Egypt, in Doha, Qatar, and in other locations with the Americans involved in the process. But still, there are key disagreements between the two sides about how they could actually end this conflict, bring the hostages out of Gaza in exchange for Palestinian prisoners. But I can tell you, we were in the streets of Tel Aviv the other night. This is a city of around 300,000 people, and about 250,000 were in the streets. Some came here from other parts of Israel, and they were demanding that Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu reach an agreement. And we spoke with one father, and he really stood out amid the crowd. And you could see the sadness in his eyes, and on his shirt, he had a photo of his son, who is still being held inside Gaza. He's believed to be alive. And he said, time is running out. If they don't find a solution, my son will come back in a body bag. This is very personal for the Israeli people, and the entire world is watching and waiting to see what comes next. Dana?
One of Hamas's requirements is that Sinwar, the mastermind of this whole thing of October 7th, be kept alive. I mean, how can Netanyahu agree to something like that?
Well, look, it's a broadly ludicrous ask by Hamas because we're talking about one of the masterminds behind the October 7th massacre. Remember, there were 3 people who planned this event, the deadliest day in Israel's history, the largest slaughter of Jews since the Holocaust. We're talking about Yahya Sinwar, Mohammed Def, and Ismail Haniyeh. Mohammed Def and Ismail Haniyeh both were killed in recent months. Def in an airstrike in Gaza, and an explosion in Tehran, the capital of Iran, took out Haniyeh. So Sinwar is the only one left, and according to reports, he is surrounded by hostages in the tunnels beneath Gaza. So Hamas is trying to keep him alive, but certainly he is the #1 target for the Israeli military. We understand that, but we also understand the complexities of the battlefield. The Israelis are still striking Hamas positions inside Gaza, but with hostages being held by the organization and this new threat overnight by Abu Obaida, the top military spokesman for Hamas, there is concern that as Israeli forces push deeper into these last Hamas strongholds, that more hostages could be executed. An incredibly complicated situation for the Israelis, and it's part of the reason that you are seeing not just political pressure, but increased military pressure today to find a solution.
Just awful stuff. Trey, just about 30 seconds left. We saw the protests against Benjamin Netanyahu and the calls for a ceasefire. Are there protests against Hamas, too? I mean, after all, those were bullets from Hamas that killed the 6 several days ago.
Yeah, absolutely. These demonstrators have taken out a lot of their frustration on the prime minister, but they're also calling for the release of these hostages from Hamas captivity. This is an event and something that has really shaken the entire country to its core. And they attended funerals when they were hoping to be attending the release of these hostages. Guys, back to you.
Trey Yingst, thank you. I'm sure we'll be seeing you all day and throughout the week.
Thank you, Trey.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.